Our next guest is a Mohawk Nation chef using her talent to help showcase the traditional Indigenous foods of her culture through cuisine.
So here to help us share in a meal is owner and chef of Yawego, Tawnya Brandt. Welcome to the show, Tawnya.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
We're so excited to have you here because you've brought some amazing dishes for us to try today. And these are from your restaurant, Yawego. It is Haudenosaunee fusion cuisine. So tell us, what is that fusion exactly?
Well, for me, Haudenosaunee cuisine is just, right now we don't have a cause for comparison, so every chef out there literally has their own cuisine. We don't have a history to fall back on, or we have cookbooks and things like that. Unfortunately, and even this day, recognizing truth and reconciliation, those are one of the things that us replacing our ancestral foods is that important. And for me, it's a link in the chain that's missing. We know language is important. We know building our family is important, but what about the food, right? So for Haudenosaunee cuisine, for me, it's just taking our ancestral foods, adding it to modern foods that we have and modern cooking technique, and just seeing what we come up with.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, yeah, let's dive right into the dishes you have brought today and start with this drink that you have made for us. It's a cedar peach iced tea. So what can you tell us about this beverage and why is it so special?
Well, cedar tea, I think, is something we find that's kind of common when we think of Indigenous food. I wanted to recognize the area we're in, which is the Niagara region, and adding the peach in with it. Yeah, it's
so
time.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the season, and it actually goes back to our history for Mohawk and all nations with Six Nations, just our past and coming here after the American Revolution. One of the things that came after the War of 1812 is all of the orchards, and the Haudenosaunee people loved that. The apples, the peaches, like cherries, things that we didn't have before, and we were really instrumental, and I like to recognize that particular point in time for our people.
It's so good.
So good.
Tawnya,
And it's maple sweetened, so no refined sugar.
Oh, that's nice too.
it's beautiful. Tawnya, you've also brought some traditional items today to the table. Can you talk about these items and what they mean to your community?
Yeah, so some of these are Haudenosaunee kitchen staples, I guess you would call them.
Cool.
This is a wash basket, so when we nixtamalize our corn, this is what we do. We mix it in an alkaline solution, so that's what this is a corn paddle. So if you can imagine maybe a pot like this, but really huge, doing big batches, that's what we use. And you can actually see some of the wood ash that's on there, because we use wood ash to do that nixtamalization process. Wow. Some of these are typical. This is a very typical Haudenosaunee style clay pot. This is a little baby one, so it's made with a micaceous clay. That's why it's glittery, and Mohawk people just really love shiny stuff. So they're really cute. So these are seed pods, right? So
Okay,
nice
so
little cork.
this holds seeds.
Yeah, so in this one, this is our Brandt blue seed that my family keeps. It's a snub-nosed blue corn.
Wow.
And then there's some other
Beautiful.
indications here. So that one's made out of birch. This one here too, it just has a little corn cob to keep it closed, right, for the stopper.
Oh, that's
so,
great.
so
I love that.
So yeah, they're just cute, and some of these are really reminiscent of Haudenosaunee designs, and this is the Sky World, right?
Oh
this
my
one here.
gosh.
So yeah, it's definitely represents a lot of our growing practices.
Yeah, keeps
that.
the
For sure.
seeds safe for next year.
Oh, they've found seeds like 600 years old and took them out and grown them.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Isn't that amazing? I love it.
We're going to continue with the food, and up next we've got venison and wild rice meatballs. So I'm a vegetarian, so I won't be partaking. However, I know that we've got a lot of significance in this dish, so tell us about that.
Yes, so we have a venison and wild rice meatball. On top of it, we made a sweetgrass, blueberry sweetgrass barbecue sauce to go on top. So you kind of get this perfumey aftertaste that you get, and that's the sweetgrass coming through.
Oh, I do.
Do you get it? Do you get it after?
Tawnya, this is vegetarian, my version?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did bring you one, and that's a wild rice and mushroom meatball that we made. So that one's vegan there, so I wanted you to get to be able to try the barbecue sauce.
This barbecue sauce is so nice.
Oh my God.
We get a lot of compliments at it at Yawego.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me
it's
about the
gorgeous.
rice.
The
Sorry,
rice?
what-
Yeah, wild rice. Actually, this one was gifted to me. It's a hand-harvested rice. It's about an 80-year-old man named Jack, so we just call it Jack's rice.
Jack's rice.
Yep, wild rice.
I feel honored to try it today.
Oh, really, like he does about maybe 100 pounds a year. So I'm extremely thankful that through my channels that I can even get it. And I love to show people, because what we only see is commercial or cultivated wild rice.
Yeah.
And this is totally something else on its own. It takes half the time to cook. It's not, you're not getting those sticks and things. You will almost think it's white rice because so much of the chaff is taken off. So I really wanted to share that with the ladies that you could try something.
And you've also made a salad to complement the venison and the wild rice dish. I hear it's an uncut salad.
Yes, like a no-cutting salad, right? Because nobody wants to fool around with that, right? We want to keep it quick. So when we do that, it's just spring mix, a bunch of berries, and then we have a seed mixture on here, a little trilogy that we use at Uego. So it has pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and hemp hearts. Hemp hearts are just like pure protein, like when you look at the seed and look at the fruit, the nutritional value is ridiculous compared to it, right? So we really want to work that in. I call this kind of a salad for people that don't like salad.
So good.
People like Lainey. Lainey doesn't like salad so much. Do you love it, Lainey?
So the dressing is so good.
It's really something on its own, that's for sure.
Okay, Tawnya, you mentioned the dressing has something called pawpaw in it, which I have never had before, but we do have some seeds here today that were sent to us from Forbes Wild Foods. Can you tell us what this is?
Pawpaw and peach vinaigrette is what we made with that there. Pawpaw, we have an example right here. These ones are from last season. They really are really nice and green when they're in season, but their season is so short. That's why you don't see them in grocery stores. Wow. So what they are is a subtropical plant that the Haudenosaunee people basically planted up the entire eastern seaboard. So they are kind of hard to come across. A long time ago, what people did was kids actually would go down rafts just along creek beds because that's where they like to grow and just pick them this time of year. But their season is literally like starts today.
Oh, wow.
So they're very late when they come out, and just the flavor is like a mix of mango and pineapple. Oh. So it's a very tropical, and it just makes it, what is it doing here, right? It doesn't make sense. Why is it here, right? And that's why, because it's a tropical plant, and you can see the huge seeds that are in them. So it's a task to do it. It's a very nice custard-like material.
It's so creamy.
They're gorgeous.
So if you smell it, it's so tropical.
So
it makes it,
amazing.
what is it doing here?
Tawnya, we only have a few minutes left, so we want to make sure we get to this sweet dessert you brought. It looks gorgeous.
so
Tell us about it.
So I brought you a blue corn cake, and it has a wild blueberry buttercream on top. I definitely want to touch on just blue corn, right? Corn in Haudenosaunee culture, it was about 80% of our diet. So you can't really do anything without having some corn in it. So I definitely wanted to do that and highlight the berries. But yeah, like I had somebody hand harvest and gift me some blueberries from Saskatoon just a couple of days ago.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what we have in the icing there for you. So I was
Listen,
happy to bring
Tawnya,
that.
at your restaurant, you proudly offer menus and services in the Mohawk language, which helps to further service your community. What does it mean for you to be able to continue these traditions in food for future generations, including your own kids?
Yeah, for me, it's just representation, right? Knowing that we can go into a store, we see people that look like us, they sound like us, they talk slang like us, but being able to have the visual, right? We have language students come in and love to come and stump us and not talk any English. But for me, it's just that visibility and knowing that we're representing and being represented, and most importantly, that our kids see that, because when they grow up, we want them to be strong people with a lot of confidence. And this is definitely building on that, and that's all I can hope for my boys.
I love that. Tawnya, thank you so much for bringing these phenomenal dishes today. Thank you so much.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, today is National Indigenous Peoples Day, and one way we're celebrating is through delicious food that showcases what our next guest calls Indigenous fusion.
To prepare these wonderful dishes and tell us about their connection to Indigenous culture is chef professor at George Brown College, David Wolfman. Welcome back!
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, so you describe your cooking, your style of cooking as Indigenous fusion. Describe what you mean by that.
Well, that's where I take the essence of our traditional Indigenous foods and put a spotlight on it, and I sort of mix it with some wonderful and international flavors.
Okay, so the first dish you have for us is sexy duck legs with balsamic glaze. But first, you're going to tell us a little story about the history behind this dish.
Yeah, traditionally, the Swampy Cree would tie birds, whether they be duck or goose, and tie them and spin them over a fire, much like a convection you would do in a convection oven, and then constantly spin them very slowly and roast them that way. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of people who are still hunting, not just for sustenance, but also for just for pleasure as well.
Okay, so now tell us about how you prepared it for us. What makes the duck sexy?
Well, well, a number of things, but besides the just appealing of it, the look of it, I take this spice that's called a sexy chicken spice, also can be used for ducks, and I put it on. I poke a few holes in it, and it's a dry rub, and it's got things like rosemary and garlic and a number of cayenne, and mix it in and let it sit for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes. By poking the holes, you get the flavor right in. It's like otherwise the skin just has all of that flavor. And then I barbecue it over a nice open flame, and then let it cook nice and slow. And then I turn it over, and I have it dancing on the grill. Keep it moving until it's cooked completely. And I'm also serving it with a Three Sister relish, too.
Okay. Can we just, what's in the, we're going to put some of this on here. Tell us what's in the Three Sister relish.
The Three Sister is inspired from the Haudenosaunee, or you might know them as Iroquois, or Six Nations people. And it's the sacred companion plant of corn, beans, and squash. And so as you can see, that has all three of the ingredients in.
Beautiful.
I also made a little bit of a balsamic glaze, which has maple syrup in it, balsamic and cloves that's sitting on top.
Okay, so we will try
so
this.
we're going to try this out. We're going to try this together.
Okay,
you go, because I got to do the next thing.
Okay.
Is it sexy?
It's sexy. Wow, it's so
Okay,
good.
I'm going to get to this in a minute. We want to move on to the next dish, which is a cod martini and strawberry salsa. Strawberry peach salsa. Okay,
Yes.
so you see there's a strong connection between strawberries and the Anishinaabe peoples. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, the berry, strawberry itself, is called the heartberry. And the heartberry, the reason why they call it is because they have runners and vines and leaves, much like our heart is connected to everything through our body. And when you look at wild strawberries, they're all connected together, and it's a symbol also of our community, how we're all connected together, and we grow together.
I love that.
So, tell us about this dish. Is there fish in it, right?
Yeah, and it's cod. And what I've done is I've diced the cod, and I use a little bit of a marinade, an acid marinade. So the Peruvians and the Ecuadorians did the same thing. They would catch beautiful fresh fish, and they had this fruit called a tombo fruit. And the tombo fruit is very acidic, so they would dice it up, mix it in there, and make what was known as, I guess, one of the first ceviches.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what I did with this. And if you look at the salsa that I have on top, that's also mixed with peaches. It gives it a really nice forward flavor on top of that.
Okay, we're going to add in
Yeah, why don't we
some
add in
mince?
some mint on top?
Okay, so we'll add in a little bit of mint.
Thanks. I
Okay,
get to
and I'm
try
gonna add
this?
a little bit more mint. 'Cause I
Okay.
really like mint, and then we're just like gonna
I like the
how it's
martini,
served,
right?
right?
This
It's
martini
so,
glass.
it's so glamorous and summery.
Oh, it's bright and fresh, and like I wouldn't know. Like I would have
gorgeous.
thought maybe is it too sweet, but these actually flavors
Combine
pair
well together, yeah.
perfectly together.
Oh,
Beautiful.
it's so fresh.
There's a little bit of lime in there, and also I put some jalapeno as well.
Oh, so there's gonna be some kick.
Perfect for the
Absolutely, a little
season.
bit of kick.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move down here.
Okay.
And the next one is amaranth birch pudding.
Yes, so it's amaranth, which is a seed right here.
Okay.
Very similar to quinoa.
Okay.
And
I've
the-
never heard of it before, so
Oh,
this
yeah,
is my
okay.
introduction.
And the Inca Empire was known to collect these, and as a matter of fact, it was almost, the Spanish almost got rid of it completely. But what they used to do is they used to put it in rattles and put it in beads and stuff like that inside, so that they would always have this seed. It's very, very high in protein, and they would make like a porridge, like breakfast almost out of it. And what I did is I made it with, boiled it in a little bit of water with some cinnamon and let it cook for about an hour, and then let it cool down. And then I mixed it with some 35%, a little bit of whipping cream, of course, and some vanilla in there. And I mixed it all up. And I glazed it with some birch syrup.
Okay.
Okay,
here.
so it looks a little bit like have you? Is the top of it? What am I seeing on the top of this?
That's the birch syrup.
That's the birch
right?
syrup.
Oh, okay.
When you think of birch syrup is similar to maple syrup. The difference is it takes 140 liters to make 1 liter. So like maple syrup would be about 40 to 50.
Okay, so I mean, I need this recipe because you
Yeah.
can't even, there's no texture in there. I
No.
would think that there would be like a puddingy, like it's just completely smooth.
Yeah,
Or
it's
like a
very smooth, yeah.
tapioca.
Tapioca,
It's a-
but
yeah, very similar.
oh my God, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Before
it's
we
so
let
good.
you go, we really want to know how you celebrate National Indigenous Peoples Day.
Well, normally I get up and do the sunrise ceremony, which in Toronto here happens at Nathan's Phillips Square. It happens in various places across Turtle Island. And we always sit around, my lovely wife and I, we cook a beautiful meal. My father, who's actually here today, and my mother-in-law too. And we usually...
Yeah, he's over there. There he is.
And my mother-in-law, and we always sit around, and usually are just grateful on everything that we're doing, and then we usually maybe have a campfire at night in our backyard, and then sit out by the moon. And well, what else do you do by the moon? But howl, right?
Yeah. Can we
Let's
do this
hear it.
together?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, ready?
All together. Ready?
3, 2, 1. David, thank you so much for sharing these
Thank you.
delicious
Thank you so
dishes
much.
with us. We
Yeah.
all really appreciate it. And viewers at home, get your phones out and use it to scan our handy QR code to get these recipes.
We're going to explain this in just a second, but our next guest is redefining how we experience Indigenous cuisine, and he's doing it in a huge way. Less than a year after opening his restaurant, Na'Agan, it earned a spot on Canada's 100 Best Restaurants list. And once you've tasted his food, you will understand why.
So he forages local ingredients and crafts each dish to tell a story, transforming every meal into a true dining experience. Please welcome back to the show, Chef Zach Keeshig.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
See you.
Okay, we will explain this in just a moment. I want to go back to Na'Agan, which is the restaurant name. What does Na'Agan mean?
So Na'Agan means dish in Ojibwe, so it's dish by Zach Keeshig. With the restaurant, I wanted to showcase, techniques that I've learned from working in Michelin restaurants and 100 best restaurants, but, use ingredients that we were, our people were using thousands of years ago, but bring it into, a modern, contemporary kind of cuisine.
Love it.
Amazing. Okay, so one of your goals is also to reframe how Indigenous cuisine is viewed here in Canada. So what do you hope to see change?
Well, we always hear about Chinese food, we hear about French food, Italian food, but my life's work has been to try to get, Indigenous cuisine on the mainstream of Canada and be a household name with everybody else.
Love it.
Absolutely. Let's help you do that.
Yes.
Okay,
thank
so
you.
I said this off the top. We are burning sage. You are burning sage here. What's the significance?
So in the restaurant, we always burn sage as guests come in. It helps, cleanse the restaurant, cleanse the negative energy, and then we cleanse ourselves too.
Love it. Okay, so you brought some food, of course, and we're going to start with wild Canadian goose.
Yes.
Tell us about this, and we're going to dig in.
We've been very, very lucky in our restaurant to be able to start serving wild game that is shot from hunters that I get from the reserve that I'm from on Neoshingaming. So what we've done is a pancake underneath that we've made from wild rice flour that we blend in-house. Here we've used the Canadian goose breast and we've treated it like a prosciutto. We have some roasted sunflowers. We have some sage, oregano, and thyme from our garden. And then we finish it with some young pickled river grapes.
It is so good
Thank you,
and rich.
thank you.
Talk about this wild rice pancake. How did you make that?
So what we do is we get wild rice in. We blend it up in a blender, actually. We sift it till it's a fine, fine powder almost. And then we can use it to make bread, to make the pancake, use it as a dusting for fish.
It is gorgeous.
Yes,
oh my
thank you.
gosh.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, we are going to try pigeon.
Yes.
And I understand you need to do some torching first. Tell us about this.
So in the restaurant, we like to torch just a little bit of juniper that we forge before the dish goes out to guests so that they have a bit of an experience. But what we've done here is we've cooked the pigeon on its crown over our birch bark grill. We've kind of smoked it. We've finished it with a glaze that we've made from magnolia vinegar, a bit of birch syrup, a bit of pigeon stock, and then on top is a bit of anise hyssop.
Okay,
to the side there is the leg of the pigeon that we've cooked in rendered bear fat. We have a carrot puree, and then we have a sauce that we've made from the pigeon bones, a bit more of that magnolia vinegar, some birch syrup, and then we finish it with some red currants.
Can we try it?
This
Can we
is
dig
just
in?
a work
Of
of art.
course.
Okay, first, before I try it, I want to ask, why is pigeon a meat that you wanted to highlight in your menu?
Well, what we've done is we've tried to get rid of using settler kind of ingredients. So we don't use chicken in our restaurant. We don't use pork. We've tried to go back to using, traditional or, more wild game meats. So we've used a bit more of the goose, birds, venison. We found a bison farm last year, and we're trying to incorporate that into our restaurant.
I've never tried pigeon. Actually, no, that's a lie. I have tried pigeon before. I've never tasted it.
It's nice, eh? Yeah.
This is very,
nice.
very nice. Okay, birch. You said you've used birch. Can you tell us how?
Yeah, so birch has been used quite significantly in our culture, from making baskets to making houses to making canoes. But here we wanted to try to start cooking with it. So we use it quite a bit in our desserts, from using chaga to using the birch bark. But here we've lightly smoked the pigeon over our birch grill.
Okay, and the birch syrup also?
Yes. So birch syrup is almost like maple syrup. We harvest the birch sap, we reduce it down. It almost has a balsamic vinegar kind of a flavor.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
That's it.
You mentioned that you cook this in bare fat.
Yes.
And not oil. So why is that something you recommend?
We've tried to get rid of using olive oil, canola oil, different things like that, and go back to, using actual animal fat to cook with. So we'll render out duck to, cook with the duck fat. Here we've gotten this bear fat from the reserve that I'm from on Nawash. We've rendered it out, and then we've kind of poached the leg so it becomes very tender in the fat.
Oh my goodness. On your tasting menu, and I think I remember this the last time that you were here, you include non-alcoholic drink pairings.
Yes.
So what have you brought for us to try today?
So today, what we've brought is a fermented blueberry drink. We've salted it and fermented it for about 4 days. We've blended it and then seasoned it with a bit of beetroot vinegar.
Oh, I love it. It's not
it's
too
quite nice.
sweet. It's like the perfect amount of sweet and tart. It's beautiful.
Well, we've kind of make them to blend that would go nice with the pigeon, almost like a red wine, but not alcoholic.
This is
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Okay, so to end with, there's this gorgeous dessert. Tell us about it.
Yes. So this is sort of a palate cleanser that we use before our meat course. It's been made with choke cherries that were foraged on Nipissing First Nation by my sous chef. So what we've done is we've flavored it with sweet fern. I just want to let you guys have a little bit of a smell of that.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So this is sweet fern that's been foraged.
Ooh, I love that.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
been flavored with sweet fern. And then on top, we have an edible medicine wheel tweel. So starting from the bottom is a strawberry powder. We have a dried elderberry powder. To the top, we have a powder that's been made with pumpkin seeds. And then to the side there, we almost have a squash fruit leather. So the idea is to take your spoon, break through the medicine wheel, and dig down to the sorbet. Yeah.
Oh, that is incredible. So this is all edible.
All edible.
Oh my gosh.
Now
it's
tell
amazing.
us about the significance of this because your presentation is absolutely stunning. So
Yes.
what is the significance
So
of
it's
the
called a medicine wheel for a reason. We have the sage, we have tobacco, we have cedar, and then we have sweetgrass there as well. But it also represents north, east, south, west. And then with this, we wanted to showcase this because it's a bit of our logo. And the idea is for guests to break through it, like I said, and dig down to that nice sorbet that we forged from one of the reserves that our sous chef is from.
It's so good. Oh I don't think I've ever had choke cherry before,
No.
but I feel like I've seen it on walks.
Yes.
I'm curious to learn more about it.
So we forged them, like I said, we forged them around our area, but they got this beautiful tart kind of tannicky flavor that works very well, blended into a sorbet. We don't use lemon in our kitchen anymore, so it brings that nice bit of acid that the sorbet needs.
Gorgeous.
This was so good.
I appreciate that.
Chef
Thank
Zach,
you.
thank you so much for bringing
Thank you very
these
much.
dishes.
I appreciate it.
Wow. Our next guest is the visionary behind Na'agin, which is a progressive Indigenous dining experience located in Owen Sound.
And drawing from the land and waters around him, he forages local ingredients to craft dishes that offer more than just a meal. They tell a story rooted in culture, place, and season. Today, he's sharing a taste of spring with us. Please welcome Chef Zach Keeshig.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
We're delighted to have you here.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
And Chef Zach, can we start off with some congratulations? You made the Canada's 100 Best Restaurant list,
Yes,
which
yes.
is a huge, huge deal.
yes.
How does that feel?
Well, I was very, very excited. Not only place number 9 on the best new list, but number 92 on the list overall.
Yeah. Wow.
Being able to put, Indigenous cuisine on the map of Canada and be one of the only Indigenous representatives at the actual event itself, and then being the only Indigenous person on the list, we're hoping to be able to inspire youth going forward and anybody else who wants to do this sort of stuff.
We love
That's
that.
incredible. That's incredible.
Can you tell us, Chef, what is the idea behind Na'agin?
So Na'agin is a progressive Indigenous cuisine. So we showcase things that we forge, we grow ourselves, we source locally, and then just these past few years, we've been very, very lucky to be able to start using wild shot game in our cooking.
Oh, wow.
So we showcase that throughout a 12-course tasting menu for 17 guests in our restaurant in Owentown.
Wow.
17,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
an intimate
Very,
experience.
very intimate, yeah.
Oh, that's magical. So I think what's especially magical is what I'm seeing here before us. And I think, Mel, I can speak for both of us. We're ready to start tasting.
We are
Yes,
ready.
yes, yes.
Let's go.
Very good.
So tell us about your first dish. And it's a traditional take
Yes,
on Bannock.
on Bannock, yes. So this first dish you see here is something, we call it gun, or something my grandmother would make. So when I was younger, my grandmother would make this Bannock dough for us. She would roll it very, very thin, wrap in hot dogs, deep fry it, and then we would dip in ketchup and mustard. It's delicious. But as we started doing these tasting menus, we wanted to introduce people to this bread. So on the bottom, it's a bannock we make just before guests come. We fry it very quickly. There's some hung yogurt. We smoke some trout. There's a bit of New Brunswick caviar, and then we garnish it with a little bit of herbs that are just popping out of our garden right now.
It is spectacular.
Yeah, good
And
job.
every single little component comes through right in this
Yes,
little
yes,
guy.
yes, yes,
It's
yes,
beautiful.
Yes, good, good, good.
Delicious. What a great start. I understand you also chose to do non-alcoholic pairings
Yes, yes, yes.
on your menu. Now listen, I stopped drinking 3 years ago. I'm very happy about this, but a lot of people didn't stop drinking, and so why did you decide that was the way to go?
Well, I wanted to respect my culture. You know, there's a big stigmatism about Indigenous people and alcohol.
Yep.
And, you know, being an Indigenous man myself and opening up an Indigenous restaurant, I didn't want to feed into that stigmatism. So I was very, very fortunate a few years ago to be able to do a stage at Pro Morissette in Jordan there. Yeah. And they do a non-alcoholic program there. So I went there specifically to learn, you know, how to make some juices, how to make kombucha, and things like that. Because I feel, you know, alcohol or non-alcoholic drinks should be right up there with alcohol or non-alcoholic drinks, right?
Agreed. Just as creative.
Well, we put so much time and effort into this stuff, it needs to be on the same sort of level.
Well, you've brought us a couple to try, so tell us about this first one, which is a tea.
This first one is a tea that we make. We actually make a very strong tea with a bunch of sugar. We set it with a SCOBY. And then later on, we strain it out, and then we've blended in a bit of sea buckthorn.
Wow. Okay,
Yes,
can you
yes, yes.
So wait, is this a type of kombucha or what
It
is
is
this?
a type of kombucha. Like normally, because I made this on Thursday, normally we would let this sit for another few days just to get a little bit more carbonation in it. But it's pretty tasty the way it is right now.
Isn't it? This is
It's good, it's good.
gorgeous.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so this would pair with maybe a fish course or something that we would, because it has that high acid, right? Yeah, yeah.
Love it. Let's move on to your second dish, which is made with bison. So
Yes.
why is that your protein of choice?
Over the last few years, I wanted to make a conscious, decision to start using more traditional ingredients that, our people were eating. We weren't eating chickens, we weren't eating pork, we were eating venison, eating deer, and then some Anishinaabe were eating bison. So we were very lucky to find a bison farm just outside of Owen Sound called Snowy Creek Bison. Yeah. So on the bottom, it's a cracker that's been made with wild mushrooms we forged last year.
It's so pretty. I don't want to eat it, but I will.
There's a ramp emulsion, the bison tartare, and then little herbs that we forge in the garden and out in the woods.
My.
Yeah, this is good, huh?
This is stunning.
Yes, thank you.
I wish we could share this with everybody. It's so good. Can you just talk to us again quickly about the base? I'm obsessed with mushroom.
The base is these mushrooms over here. So we're lucky that around our area, there's tons of wild mushrooms that grow. So we pick these mushrooms in the peak season. We cut them up and we dehydrate them till they're really, really, kind of hard almost. And then later on this year, we're able to blend them, sift them through a fine sieve, make a cracker, or, we can add it to breads or tarts and things like that, to be able to have an umami kind of flavor.
Oh, it's wonderful. Just wonderful.
I don't even know how you can get better than this, but we are going to end with a birch dessert.
Birch dessert.
So let's first talk about this gorgeous presentation.
Yeah, so with this dessert, we wanted,
Wow. Wow.
So,
Waterfall.
yeah. So with this dessert, we really wanted you to feel like you were out in the woods, early in the morning, foraging mushrooms in the fog almost.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So this is it? This is it? Okay.
So on the bottom,
Tell us about it.
it's a sort of a tart that's been made with chaga. On top is a cremu that's been made with something called rabbit tobacco. We have a praline, and then we have a little bit of wild flowers that are growing out in the wild right now that we just foraged.
This is spectacular.
Yes, thank
A
you.
quick question here. Rabbit tobacco?
Yes.
It's not what I think it is.
No. It's not the tobacco.
No, rabbit smokes.
So this is something that we were able to get. You dehydrate it, but if you smell it, it almost has a slight vanilla smell to it.
Oh, wow, smell like caramel, too.
Yeah, it's caramel almost. So our people, they would harvest this, they would make a tea out of it, they would chew on it before battle. So we wanted to use it in a culinary sense.
Yeah.
And to have that in a dish, and this is where we're at now.
Jeez.
Wow.
Come on.
Unbelievable.
So you're pairing our dessert with another drink. Will you tell us about it?
Yes. So not very many people know, or some do, but you can use dandelion root and chicory root almost as a coffee substitute. So what we've done, as you see here, we've harvested all of the dandelion roots. We treat it almost as if we were roasting, coffee beans. We roast them till they're black. We steep it. You know, there's a bit of hazelnut milk in there, and then we sweeten it slightly with maple syrup that's from Nawash, from the reserve that I'm from.
Describe this. Can you describe this, Jess?
Ooh, it tastes like a wonderful treat. It tastes, but it has a woodsy.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't know. The cooks say it almost is like a cappuccino, eh? Like a nice,
Yes.
almost like that. Like you don't get that real dark bitterness from like you would coffee, but it almost has that same sort of flavor.
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh,
Wow,
this is good.
this has
Good
been
job.
completely mind-blowing.
I appreciate it.
Phenomenal,
Phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Thank you very much. Team Neglect. We appreciate it.
So different.
Thank you.
And delicious. All right, check it out. Again, congratulations again to you and all the staff.
Yes.
That is so huge. So our next guest has combined her rich Indigenous heritage with her passion for chocolate by creating Raven Rising, a unique chocolate company where tradition meets temptation.
Here to tell us more about her journey is award-winning chef and entrepreneur Tammy Maki. Welcome to the show.
Chef Tammy, thank you so much for being here. Now, before we taste your confections, you've actually shared that you are adopted, but it wasn't until a few years ago that you discovered you were part of the 60s scoop. Wow. How did you find out this part of your history?
So I grew up knowing about my Indigenous heritage because my family ensured that I was registered with my band. But I always thought that my mother had given me up. So when the 60s settlement was happening, my older brother, Gary, who was my blood brother, said, well, we should apply for it and find out. They always lose our records kind of thing. So it was okay, not putting much store in it. And it did come back that we were 60s scoop. And as we got further into the journey, I found out actually that I was taken from my mother and placed into foster care. But luckily, I was, adopted into a great Finnish family. So, yeah, the settlement was, I know everyone gets kind of angry that we got money for it, but it took away our heritage and our family, right? And I only saw a picture of my mother, my blood mother, when I was 55. Wow. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Tammy, how did learning about this family history change the course of your career?
So my career had already been set. I was already a pastry chef, but when I was finding out about this, I was opening up this business. And I thought I really wanted to invite everybody on the journey, finding my Indigenous side, my Indigenous self, celebrating stories and ingredients. So it was a very kind of auspicious thing to have happen. So that's, Raven Rising is very personal to me. My story is very personal. And I want everyone else that's coming into this to relate to me on that level.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Talk to us about the realities of securing financing and grants as an female Indigenous business owner.
Well, I always said it's anybody starting a business has a difficult time finding grants. People aren't walking around handing out money. It's a lot of work. For me, unfortunately, there was that 60s scoop out of province aspect. So monies come from, they're dispersed federally, and then they're trickled down into the provinces. And then that adds that extra layer of bureaucracy and red tape. And because I'm considered out of province, I know, out of province, right? Through no fault of my own, I'm 60s scoop. And I'm in Ontario. I should be entitled to those monies, but it's not the way that it works.
Because you come from Saskatchewan, so they see you as out of province in Ontario, even though you were taken from Saskatchewan. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's, everything's a tap dance when it comes to money, right? So unfortunately, or fortunately, I was able to secure financing in a traditional manner, but I carry a massive debt load now. So
as a result.
Yeah.
I mean, you have recently made a decision about Raven Rising. Can you tell us what that decision is?
I'm so excited. Yes. I am moving Raven Rising from my home base of Sudbury, and I'm actually moving to White Bear in Saskatchewan.
You're going home.
I'm going home. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's, I've never lived there. I've never been surrounded by community. I want to grow that business. I want to hire people from my First Nation. I want to also start a trades training facility, hopefully accredited on our First Nation as well, and start an Indigenous food tourism hub.
Wow.
We love that.
Wow. That's extraordinary, Tammy.
What do you think? Is it time we dig into some of these extraordinary, beautiful creations?
Absolutely.
We're going to start with one of your famous bonbons called the elderberry. So tell us about it, and we'll eat.
I brought my cheat notes. So the elderberry and the elderflower are the purple one.
Okay.
So when you eat a bonbon, you're going to put the entire thing in your mouth, on your palate. And then what's going to happen, it's like a wine tasting, right? So there's different nuances in chocolate. There's different nuances in the filling. So the chocolate is going to go onto your palate first. And it's a lovely 65% Anaya from cocoa berry, right? It's beautiful. It's not bitter. It's not sweet. It's just perfect.
Are there more of those?
And the elderberry and elderflower is very mellow. They're from the same plant. Obviously, one's a berry, one's a flower, and used by Indigenous people, like the entire plant was. In fact, the stem were used, they took the pith out and they made whistles and flutes out of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So
And the
good.
second
I'm a
one-
chocolate snob, and I'm just like in heaven over here.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the ingredients, you talk about the importance and the challenges of sourcing traditional Indigenous ingredients for your chocolate. So why is it so difficult?
Oh my God, because Indigenous ingredients are just not on the map at all. Even though probably 75 to 80% of what we eat is Indigenous. We are the original farm to table. You can't go on reserve and forage and sell it in mainstream. It's just not what, red tape allows, right? So maybe that'll change someday. We're hoping to do that a little bit, when I go back to the First Nation.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have the Manamoon Tea Bonbon. Let's talk to us about this one.
Okay, so Manuman is actually, it's all good, is all wild rice. And it is sourced from northern Saskatchewan, close to my heart.
You just pop it in?
Same thing, right on your tongue. So Manuman, I toasted the wild rice a little bit in the oven, and then I steeped it. And it makes a tea, and then I introduce it into the ganache, and I put it in 64%. It's an extra bitter guayaquil, but it's not bitter at all, right? Okay, and it's like a little nutty, right? And it's really kind of warm and comforting and beautiful, and
And
it's
perfection.
Yeah.
Are there more of those ones too, or?
A few more in the box, right there.
Wow.
Chef Tammy, thank you so much. You are incredibly talented.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, everyone needs to check out Raven Rising.